Hello everyone, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my monthly Step It Up Sunday. I'm going to give it a few more seconds for everyone to join me tonight. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a few announcements before I get started. My new hostess code for the month of September. Don't forget to use that when you check out of my online store so you can earn some free products from me. My free card kit for the month of September. If you place any order of any dollar amount, you'll get a card kit just like this one without the stamp images. You'll get all the pieces so you can make your own card. And I just want to show you what I do each month for all that order from me. So these are all getting ready. I had a whole bunch of these. These are all ready to go in packages for people that use the hostess code. I'm waiting for their products to arrive. And these are all the pieces that come in a clear cello envelope. So when they get it, all they do is take everything out and put the card together. So that's what this one is going to look the same way. It's going to be in a cello bag with all the layers in there, and then you just put your own card together. Now my door prize for the month of September, only because I ordered 2 of these by mistake, so a lucky recipient will receive the Lots of Cheer stamp set. And all you need to do is place an order, whether online, by email, or in person with me, and your name gets entered into my drawing at the end of the month. And that includes all of my Paper Pumpkin subscribers also. I wanted to announce my next class ahead of time in case I forget at the end of my video tonight. So Wednesday I will be on with my afternoon tea time on a card. Now that is not on my business page. I will share it later though. But that takes place on my group page called Stampin Ink Design. So you just need to search for this and ask to join and I'll approve you. I'll be live on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to give you just a little sneak peek. I've already done one sneak peek. Let me just cover my card a little bit. So this is sneak peek number 2. That's what I'm going to be showing. Isn't that pretty? So you'll have to wait and see what I'll be doing if you join me on Wednesday. So Step It Up Sunday is all about starting out with a clean and simple card, and then I step it up twice. And today I'm using the Peaceful Boughs stamp set. This is new in the holiday catalog. It's item number 150541. And we also have coordinating dies. There's some missing here. I'll show you the ones that I'm using today. Those are called Beautiful Boughs dies. And the item is 150661. And you can actually order the bundle and save 10% when you order both products. So let's get started. I can see everybody coming on. Good evening, everyone. It's evening here in Maine. It's 7 p.m. So I'm going to start out with card number 1. This is my clean and simple card. It's a 1-layer card. I'm using the thick Whisper White, 11 by 4 1/4, and I'm going to score at 5 1/2. There's no layers on this card, absolutely no layers. So tonight the ink colors I'm using is Pear Pizzazz, Garden Green, and Poppy Parade. I've been using Poppy Parade a lot lately. It seems to be my favorite red. I'm going to start out with the Garden Green and the Poppy Parade. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment right in the center. Now this says, may the spirit of peace gently fill your heart and home in this most wonderful time of the year. I love the sentiment. Okay, there's my sentiment. Now the next thing I'm going to do is just go around it in the top right and bottom left hand corner with the sprig image. So very easy, and I'm going to turn a little so they're not all facing in the same direction. So there's my top corner. Now I'm going to go down to the bottom left. I'm going to do the same thing. And voila, there's card number 1. So how quick was that? and how easy. If you're a beginner stamper, this is how you want to start out, with something simple like this. So now let's move on to card number 2. So this time we're going to step it up a little bit. I'm going to be using some sponging with Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to show you all of the cardstock layers first, then I'll show you the card. So we started out with all white. Now we're going to add color to step it up, and then a few more things to it to make it a stepped up card. Poppy Parade, 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to go ahead and score that at 4.25. And fold on the score line. My next layer is Whisper White, 5.25 by 4. I can see a lot of you guys instructing others to do something with my video tonight. As you all know, Facebook has stopped us from begging you guys to do something with our video. So look at the comments and you'll see what people are telling you to do with my video. Now the next layer of Whisper White is 4.75 by 3.5. And then tomorrow morning I'll draw a name for all 3 cards if you do something with my video. Okay, now I've got Pear Pizzazz on my sponge. I'm going to start in the corner and work my way in. I forgot to show you the card. Here's card number 2. So this would be the first stepped up version. So you can see how I left a lot of white space in the middle. So that's why I'm starting in the corner and working my way in, and the ink gets lighter. Okay, now I'm going to do the other 2 corners the same way. So when you're done, it kind of creates an oval, a white oval in the center. So I'm applying the most pressure right in the corners. Okay, so I'm going to leave that just like that so you can see how white the center is. Next, we're going to do the same thing with the sprig, but we're going to go around all 4 sides. I'm going to add some long pieces, some short pieces. I'm just going to go around the whole thing. Now, I like to fill this in. So right here where there's a lot of white space, I'm just going to put a little tiny piece of the stamp image. I'm going to go around one more time, just filling in that white space. One more. Okay, so you can see how I kind of made a frame. Now, this looks good, but when you add the little Poppy Parade dots, doesn't that look awesome? You'll see how when I start adding those, it just makes everything pop. So I'm going to go around all 4 edges again. You can see how quick this goes on. So I'm just going to fill that in. I think I went a little more crazy on this one than I did on my first one. So look how neat just those red dots add to the garden green and the Pear Pizzazz. I just love that look. Next, we're going to add some ribbon. Now this ribbon is from it's reversible, and it's Old Olive Pretty Peacock reversible ribbon. So I'm going to actually cut it a little bit longer than the cardstock piece. I'm going to add adhesive on the back. And then, let's see, on this one, I used the green side. Let's go a little darker this time and see what a difference that makes. So I'm just going to press that on the back, wrap it around. Okay, so you can see this one's a little darker, so you can use either side. Next, we're going to do the sentiment with the garden green ink. And I'm using the Timeless Label Punch for this one. I'm hoping my cardstock piece is large enough. Yeah, it is. I kind of didn't leave myself much room there. Now we need stamping dimensionals. Let me get those. Now because my ribbon sits in the middle, I'm going to add my dimensionals at the top and at the bottom, just so it doesn't add more bulk on top of the ribbon. So we're almost done with card number 2 already. Whoops, almost had it upside down. Okay, so there's my sentiment. And then I'm also going to glue this layer down with dimensionals. Now, for those of you that joined my Merry Christmas card club, your packets will be going out this week. And this is the same stamp set that I featured in my card club. So you guys will have this video to use for ideas also. And I'll be announcing my next club for October pretty soon. Okay, so there's card number 2. So we went from clean and simple to step it up once. Now we're going to step it up a second time. So let me get set up. I've got a lot of supplies on this one. Okay, so this time for a card base, I'm using Garden Green 4 1/4 by 11. I'm going to score this one at 5 1/2. And use my bone folder. Now for layer number 2, I've got Pear Pizzazz, and I use the Stylish Scroll embossing folder. Isn't that neat? Now, when you might have missed this in the holiday catalog, it's actually located on the page with the Halloween products on page 53. And you can see it here used as a layer on a Halloween projects. I am using this on a Christmas card. You can use this on anything. So now that you've seen the Stylish Scroll, let me flip over my card. Now remember, this is stepped up version number 2. This is going to be the wow card. So here is card number 3. Isn't that pretty? You'll see here, I'll show you all the die cuts that I used on this card. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue down the Stylish Scroll layer. It's going to go right on the front. And I've gone ahead and cut out a lot of the die cuts ahead of time because there's so many. So the large branch die, I've gone ahead and used the Noble Peacock foil sheets. Look how shiny that is. I've got 2 of those. The smaller branch, I've cut out 2 with Whisper White. The Pinecone solid, I've cut 3 with Crumb Cake. And then the Pinecone detail, I've cut 3, and I just wanted to show you how I pop this out. Now I'm going to bring in my Take Your Pick tool. For those of you guys that are new, this came out about a year ago. This is our Take Your Pick tool, which has different tools. We've got a paper piercer on one end, a little spatula kind of tool. And then, let me put this back. There's the end, that's the sticky end to pick up stuff with, like sequins, little things. There's also a stylus that goes with this, so you can interchange the ends on it. We just came out with the little die brush now. So I went ahead and bought another Take Your Pick tool, and this actually just unscrews. So I took the little sticky portion at the top, and there's my new die brush. Now what I do with the little pine cone, because it's stuck in there, I put it on my mat and I just press down. You can see all the little pieces coming out. And then I just take a paper piercer and pierce through the little dots and There we go. See how easily those came out? It's a really neat tool to have on hand. Now let's go ahead and glue all of our pieces. I am going to have to use the Big Shot just once tonight. So I'm going to glue my little Noble Peacock foil sheets down first. I'm just going to add some dots with my liquid glue. The first one's going to go at the top like so. Next, we're going to do number 2. It's going to look like a mess in the middle when I'm done gluing my die cuts, but then we cover it with the sentiment. Okay, so there's my 2 pieces. Whoops, I'm going to move this up just a tad. Now I'm going to add the white. So I've got one up here, about there. I'm just trying to smush this in place so it'll stay there. Now this white piece, I did not take all the little die cut guts out. Again, I'm going to use my little brush, and you're going to see that they all come out. Sometimes I flip it over. There, I've got all the little white pieces that just came out. Here's my next die cut. Now what I'm going to do is just bring in, let me see, I've got my stylish scroll embossing folder. I'm just going to sit that on top for a minute. Now we've got to assemble the pine cone, because as you can see, the crumb cake will peek out of the soft suede. So it's a 2-toned pine cone. And most of you guys have seen me with my little sponge that I keep in a container. I'm going to bring in a scrap piece. Add just a dot of glue. I'm going to dip that in there, and then I'm just going to add glue to my pine cone. It just makes it so easy. And then we just layer them on top of each other. Whoops, so there's one. So I've got 3 of these to do up. Last one. Okay, there's my 3 pine cones. Now I'm going to wait to glue those in place after I do my sentiment. So let me make some room here so I can do my stamping. And what I've done is I've stamped it with the Poppy Parade. I'm going to go ahead and clean my stamp, because what I did is stamped it a second time and I have the word peace in garden green. I've got a little tiny piece of white here, and I just need the word peace. And I'm going to cut that as close as I can. Okay, I'm going to put that right, whoops, it went flying, right here. Make sure I don't lose that. You guys all know where it is, because you know I tend to lose things. Let me go ahead and bring in the Big Shot. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this large label from the dies. So I'm just cutting once tonight. This is going to go right here. Make sure it's nice and straight. Look how cute that is. Again, I'm going to bring in my brush. And I need to poke out the 4 little holes. Makes it so easy. Now let's bring my card back in. I didn't lose any pieces. Make sure it's right side up. And this one is going to be glued in place with dimensionals. And then I'm going to slide the pine cones at the top underneath the sentiment layer. I see a lot of you guys liking this card. I'm so glad to see that. I love seeing all the hearts go by, all the love. Okay, now I'm going to tuck this underneath along with the second one. And then this one, whoops. Oh, look, I got glue all over my finger. I kind of elevated it a tad over the sentiment. Let me wipe my finger before I get glue all over. And now we need to go ahead and glue our little piece. Now what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to cut a snip off of the little scraps on the bottom of the dimensional sheet. And that's going to go directly over the piece on the sentiment. So you can see that that's now two colors. Lastly, we've got the bow to add, and then some toil tidings glitter enamel dots. Now I am going to use a bow maker to make my bow tonight. My husband actually makes these. I have them for sale on my Facebook page. It just makes the nicest bows. I can see that he's watching tonight, so I know everybody said hi to him. I could see that. I said hi to Dave. But see how quickly I made my bow, and look how perfect. Now let's go ahead and add a glue dot, a little bit of liquid glue. And now we just need to add some bling. So these glitter enamel dots, these toil tidings, come in two colors. And there's 4 different sizes. I love the sizes that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and add a few to the background. Whoops, that one stuck to my finger. And let's see, I got one more little one that goes up here. You can tell I have glue on my fingers. It's just sticking. And there we are. There's card number 3. So let me bring them all back in case you tuned in late. And don't forget what you're supposed to do in order for me to try to pick a name to win all 3 of these cards. I can't beg you to do that. So this was card 3, card number 2, card number 1, and then this was the stamp set that I used tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed my 3 projects for Step It Up Sunday, and I hope you plan on joining me on Wednesday for my afternoon tea time and a card. Make sure you join my page. Let me bring that in so you'll know what to search for on Facebook. Ask to be a member of my page, and I will see you guys on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a good night, everyone.